Yarny.
Hello and welcome to another Yarny tutorial. In this video, you will learn how to make these nice crochet butterflies. It's super easy to make and it's also super quick. Now, in terms of materials you will need, I'm using the Bernat Maker yarn. So it's a bulky number 5 and the type of yarn is actually a t-shirt / tube yarn. So I'm using this yarn because you can see the stitches very clearly and it makes the butterfly look very neat. Now for the crochet hook, I'm using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. You'll also need a yarn needle just to weave in the end very quickly, and then some scissors to cut your yarn. Now for the stitches, as I mentioned, it's super easy. You only need to know how to do a slip knot and chains, and then how to do double crochets. Now we do have very slow and detailed tutorials on our channel that I will link down below if you're unfamiliar with any of these stitches. Now, if you don't have the Bernat Maker yarn, that's still fine. You can use other type of yarn. I also made this butterfly using the acrylic yarn, so it would also yield in a nice butterfly, just like this one here. And I've also tried it with a plush yarn. So I'm using this Baby Bear by Big Twist. So obviously it's a plush yarn, so it's fluffy and you can see the details a little less clear than the Bernat Maker, but it's still a nice butterfly. So the choice is really yours. All right, now let's start. Now for this tutorial, I will show you the butterfly with 2 colors, and we will start with the middle part, the white part here. If you want your butterfly to be one color only, then that's super easy. You just stay with the same colored yarn the whole time. But if you want to change colors, you have the option with this tutorial. So we will start with the middle white part. Now to start with the middle white part, we will start with a slip knot. So I simply wrap the yarn around my index finger here on top of the working yarn, which is the side that's attached to a ball of yarn. And then I take the working yarn and wrap it around my finger again. And now I have 2 loops here. I take the back loop and I bring it forward. So this is how I do my slip knot. Now that my slip knot is done, I insert my crochet hook. I will do 6 chains. 6 chains, so very easy. Wrap the yarn around my hook and pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. So that's 1 chain. So I'll go ahead and do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have 6 chains in total. Now what I'm going to do is join my hook. I will insert my hook in the first chain that we did here so that it creates a ring. So I insert my hook in the first chain like this. And then I will wrap the yarn around my hook and pull the yarn through both of the loop on the hook. So this is called a slip stitch right there. So as you can see now, I have a small ring. So now we will work basically the double crochet in the rings. So before doing that, we will do 3 chains to add height to the stitch. So chain 1, 2, and 3. So this will count as 1 stitch. So we will count these 3 chains as the first double crochet stitch. Now we will do a second double crochet stitch. So wrap the yarn around our hook, insert the hook inside the ring, and then grab the yarn to pull it back through the ring. And you have 3 loops on your hook. So wrap the yarn around your hook to pull it through the first 2 loops only. And then you have 2 loops left on your hook. So wrap the yarn around your hook to pull it through the last 2 loops. So now you have 2 stitches. Now we will do 2 chains, just like this. And then we will do 2 more double crochet in the ring. So I have 1, and then 2. So by doing so, what happens is you create little groups of stitches. So you have your first group of 2 double crochet here and second group of 2 double crochet. And then you have a gap here, which is created by the 2 chains, and this will help us on our second round. So what we want to do is to create 8 groups of 2 double crochet. So we have 2 groups already. We have 6 more groups to do. And in between each group, we just do 2 chains. So chain 1, chain 2, and then 2 double crochet in the ring. So 1, and 2. So we have 3 groups now. We will do 2 chains and then 2 double crochet. So as you can see, I have 1 group, 2 group, 3 group, and 4 group. I need 4 more to have 8 groups in total. So now go ahead and do 2 chains followed by 2 double crochet in the ring all around until you have 8 groups of 2 double crochet stitches. So I've just completed my last double crochet, which forms the 8 groups of 2 stitches. So we have the 1 group here, and then 1 group here. So the 3rd group, 4th group, 5th group, 6th group, 7th group, and the 8th group here. And now your ring might be really stacked together and might be difficult for you to see all these gaps, but that's fine. Now we will be changing colors, but before doing so, we do want to chain 2 before merging the gap here. So just like what you usually do is 2 double crochet, you chain 2, so chain 1 and chain 2. Now before we join this side with this side, we will change color. So you can use any color you like. For the tutorial, I'll just use this yellow because the lighter the yarn, it's easier for you to see. So to change color, I will simply insert my hook in the next space I want to join the 2 sides. So I essentially want to do a slip stitch on top of the 3rd chain we did at the beginning. So remember when we linked the ring, we did 3 chains which counted as a double crochet stitch. So now we essentially want to merge these 2 sides here by inserting the hook on the top of the 3rd chain. So you have the 1st chain here, the 2nd, and the 3rd here. So I insert my hook. Now before I do any stitch, I will go on to grab the next color, and I will use this color, put it on the hook, and bring it through the 2 loops. And just like that, you basically link the ring. You shut the ring and you also change the colors. Now, just to make sure everything is tight, you can just pull onto these yarn here, and you can go ahead and start crocheting with the new color, and you can cut the first color yarn. And if you did not want to change color and just keep using a 1 color to make your butterfly, then you can just ignore this step. You just go ahead, do your slip stitch using your color. And now what we're going to do is we will do 3 double crochet in this next big space here. So this space is created by each of the 2 chains we did in between the 2 double crochet of the first round. So my next big gap is here. So you can see all these gaps that we have are created by the 2 chains. So to do 3 double crochet in this next 2 chain space here. So my first double crochet, and on this side I will just pull onto the yarn to tighten everything. All right, so I have my first double crochet. I'll do a second double crochet in this big gap that we call the 2 chain space, and then I do a third double crochet in this big gap that we call the 2 chain space. Now we will do 2 chains, and then we do 3 more double crochet in this same 2 chain space here. So 3 more double crochet. So I have 1. Now I'm basically working on my second double crochet and my third double crochet in this gap here. Now the reason we're doing this 2 chains in between the 3 double crochets because it will create this little pointy edge here, which will make a nice butterfly wing effect. Now under this next stitch here, which is basically in between the 2 double crochet you did in the previous round, you will insert your hook under the top of the stitch, so top of the middle of the 2 double crochet, and then you do a slip stitch. So you bring your yarn through the loop on the hook, just like that. Now you're basically at your next gap again, which is the 2 chain space, and we will again do 3 double crochet followed by 2 chains followed by 3 double crochet. So I have my first double crochet, and then my second double crochet, then my third double crochet, and I'm doing 2 chains and then 3 more double crochet in the same space. So 1, and now I'm working on my second and then my third double crochet. So after that, moving on to the next stitch, we're doing a slip stitch again in the middle of the 2 double crochet you did in the previous round. So insert your hook on the top and the middle of the 2 double crochet to do a slip stitch, just like this. So now basically it's going to be the same thing. We want 8 of these yellow petals. So you have 1 here, 2 here, and we want 8 in total. And basically what you're going to do is in each of these big 2 chain space that we call here, you do 3 double crochet followed by 2 chains followed by 3 double crochet. Then in the middle of the 2 double crochet you did in the previous round, on the top you will do a slip stitch, and then moving on to your 2 chain space, 3 double crochet followed by 2 chains followed by 3 double crochet. So at the end you should have 8 of these petals, and it will basically be almost completed with the butterfly. So as you can see here, I'm doing my second double crochet already, and then my third double crochet in this 2 chain space, and then always do the 2 chains and then 3 more of these double crochet in the same space. So 1, and this is my second double crochet, and then my third, and then on top of in the middle of the 2 double crochet you did in the previous round, we will do a slip stitch, and then back to the double crochet in the big space, 2 chain space. So I have my first double crochet, second, and then third, and then 2 chains, and then 3 double crochet. So I have 2 and then 3. So you can clearly see that we've created 4 petals already. So we have 4 more to go. So now go ahead and do your slip stitch in the next stitch, which is the top and in between the 2 double crochet you did in the previous round. And then go ahead and do 3 double crochet followed by 2 chains, and then 3 double crochet in the next 2 chain space, and do your slip stitch, and then do your double crochet. So 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet in each of the 2 chain spaces. So I've just completed my 7th little petal here, so I'm working on my last one. So I'll go ahead and do my slip stitch on top of the middle of the 2 double crochet from the previous round, and then do my last space here with the double crochets. So my big gap here, so my first double crochet, second, then third, just tighten this white yarn a little bit since I changed color earlier, just to make sure everything is secure here. If you want to make sure actually that everything is secure, you can go ahead and do a knot with the 2 colored yarn. I should have done that earlier, but there you go. All right, now I will do my 2 chains and finish with my 3 double crochet in the same space here. So 2, and last double crochet. Now you will do a slip stitch on the top of your next stitch, so just to join the 2 pieces together. And now your little, I guess, flower here might be all crooked like this, which is fine, because what we're going to do next is essentially fold the piece in half, which will create this butterfly effect. Now before we do that, just go ahead and chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So with this piece of yarn, the 10 chains we did here is going to be used to attach the 2 sides of the body together. So now you have basically the body, and we want to fold it in 2. And then you have this chain here that you will use to wrap it around the body like this, so that this will stay in place. So you have your butterfly wrapped, and to secure everything, we will again do another slip stitch. So at the beginning of the chains here, just do a little slip stitch to make sure everything is staying secured. So once that is done, go ahead and cut your yarn and pull onto your yarn to secure that last stitch. Now you have these yarn in the middle here. You can either weave them in a little bit or just go ahead and cut them directly. I will just cut them so that they're not visible anymore. I will cut them as close as possible to the body. And you basically have the shape of your butterfly, and this little piece here, I like to actually weave it in with the yarn needle very quickly. So I just bring it inside the body from the bottom of the stitch here, and then I bring it towards the middle part here where you have a bunch of yellow stitch, so that the stitch won't be, the piece of yarn won't be noticeable. So just a quick weave in here, and I will go ahead and cut this piece. Now after doing that, I like to use this piece that I just cut as the antenna. And of course, if you prefer black antennas, because usually they're black, just use a black yarn. So quite easy. I just go ahead, insert my hook in the middle of the butterfly and pull the yarn like this. And then I just slide the yarn on top of the butterfly. And I just make sure that it's even like this. And then I hold on to the butterfly and I cut the extra length that's not needed. So basically you have your antenna like this, and your butterfly is completed. So as you can see, this was really super easy to do, and it was very, very quick. So this is a really good project for a beginner. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope your butterflies will look really, really nice, whichever color you decide to make them. And please don't forget to hit the like button for this tutorial and to subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon.